So someone approached me during the game Saturday about the tailgate and was asking very much if I could try to find a way to get my wife and their wife to be friends so that they could come to the tailgate. Here's the thing you need to know about the tailgates. They're open to everyone. Anyone can come unless they're an Omaha fan. And so there's always plenty of leftover bratwurst and hot dogs. We're more than happy to share when you come. If you come and you're in a hurry and you didn't have a chance to buy a beer, someone will share a beer with you. Not Jeff, but he'll share whatever beverage he's drinking. Yeah. Everyone's there having a good time, talking to each other. And you guys both know my wife. If you come to the tailgate and you're not friends with my wife, that's your fault.
That's true. That's true. And I don't share anything. So you got that right. Spot on.
Soccer chat with 2 T's because we're going to chat about soccer, but we're also in Chattanooga. So it's like a play on words. And, Chattanooga is a soccer city.
This week's episode, Tormented and Tormenta.
So welcome to Soccer Chat.
Now, I would say
kind of off the post.
Your wife is like the opposite of you, so it balances the universe.
Nice.
And she's very outgoing.
She's good looking.
And she
has hair.
She does.
Good one.
She's very easy at making friends. She enjoys talking to people she doesn't know. And so are you some kind of like a probation thing she's on that I don't get?
So you guys know the opening scene in Up?
Yeah.
The little girl is crawling out the window and she was like, you don't talk very much. I like you. That's based on our life.
Well done.
That's pretty much how our relationship started. So obviously we're going slow getting into the topic that I don't know that we want to talk about. It took 2 days to get Adam out of his catatonic state so that we could record this episode.
It took me 2 days to get my voice back.
Yeah. And I think I really do feel the best way for us to do this is to let's go through it like we would normally. Let's take a look at a couple of the goals and let's look at, how did it start off? So game starts off, not a lot happening in all honesty, first 20 minutes. So I'm going to go like pre-rain delay. Lightning delay is the correct term, but they never put lightning delay on the screen, which is really annoying. But
the thing we need everyone to understand, in the South, the weather tries to kill you perpetually. So when we make a delay, it's not because there's rain falling. It's because if rain is falling, there is also lightning nearby.
And the sky is full of murder.
Everyone in the middle bleachers.
It's full of murder. Let's
just get that straight to everyone in League One. It's not rain delay. It's because of lightning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's always your team begging to get off the field because they're terrified of the lightning. Just know that too. All of our Red Wolves players are ready to continue playing, and the coaches and the players for the other team go running to the referee to delay these games. Keep that in mind too.
Yeah. So we come back, and relatively soon after we come back, we get one of the better starts, similar to the last time we played this team, and this is what that looked like.
And here comes Chattanooga now. Centers it to Carrera Garcia. This one's out wide to Ruiz. Ricky Ruiz puts it in! Finds the back right corner!
That was great. That was such a joyous time. I'm sure I enjoyed all of that match.
It was good. It kind of came against the run of play. When we came out of that lightning delay, Tucson had a lot of the possession. And it was about then where we had started to kind of reassert ourselves and moved it down. And I got to tell you, that flick from Carrera Garcia, that was something else to keep that moving, bending it into the path of Ricky Ruiz.
and Ricky's finishing. I think that was great. Beautiful goal, Ricky. Fantastic. We were in really good form. I felt very confident at that moment.
Yeah, so from there we move on to what I think was, in honesty, even though that Ricky goal was wonderful, I really feel this was the most impressive goal of the night and one of the more impressive ones I've seen.
Best ball. Galindra is taken down. No foul call, but Ruiz has it now. Ricky Ruiz, the goal scorer, swings this one inside. Galindres with the header, and how did he slip that ball in from that spot? Juan Galindres. No window is too tight for that striker.
So I left it up as long as I could so you guys could see it. I believe that was his mother that he was celebrating with there at the end.
Yes, I think it was.
In the Roma jersey.
Maybe not. But the other patron that he came up and gave a hug to, that was his mom, I believe. And that goal happened right in front of the supporter section, right where myself and Alex were. And that head flick over the keeper was a thing of beauty. Like it's in like it. He had split second to make that decision. What was your thoughts, Alex?
Yeah, really impressive and really exciting. I think even from this angle, it looks even better the way that he, has that goalkeeper handcuffed, and it just kind of rolls over him. And we were, hopefully watching to see that bulge in the net instead of it just kind of going wide or bouncing off the post like he hit the crossbar in the first half with a really good effort. So that it went in. It feels like he's really on a hot streak and kind of a bull in a china shop right now in that box. So it's really exciting to see him get that success.
I kind of felt like it had undone. We had all this quote unquote bad luck where we just couldn't get goals in there. We got so close, kept knocking on it. Felt like it was cellophane over that. So I kind of felt a relief. And I have to admit, guys, I think I had a level of euphoria at that moment that I don't think I've had at a sporting event. And it was so exhilarating. And that's this match was such an extreme highs, but unfortunately that feeling didn't last.
Yeah, so that brings us to the last 10 minutes. Kay Baker, superfan Kay Baker, who joined us for the preview episode of this, asked the question, what the heck happened in those last 10 minutes? And the next thing I'm going to show is not actually their first goal because it's a PK. But I'm going to show the build-up to that, and I kind of want to get your guys' view on this and what you think, specifically of this PK and what was your thought on it being awarded. So here's that.
Here's João Delgado. Delgado inside the 18, tries to pass in the middle. It's Shaq Adams he's taken down. No penalty called. Play goes on. It's chaos inside the 18, cleared out just for now, and that shot will be deflected for a corner kick for Tucson.
It happened so quick.
Can I run this back? As you look at
Here's
the
João
play
Delgado.
starting, do we have like Zapruder okay, you see the player going down. I'm pointing at my screen on my phone. You guys don't care. You see that player going down. Okay, so we got to figure out what happened there. But the play continues because it's, League One referee.
Boom.
Great tackle by Capizzucci. Gets the ball. Referee, you see, point at it as if to say, he got the ball. There's no foul. More people tangling. Players falling over because it's League One and that's what they do. Oh, I'm just going to fall over and hope someone bails me out.
Once again, the ref at that point is pointing. He got the ball. You see that?
Yep. Okay. The shot goes. Okay. And that deflection there. Now, when the referee goes over to talk to the assistant, I initially thought he was saying he saw this ball go off of Daniel Navarro's hand. And I'm thinking that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So the ball goes out of play now. So if you go all the way back to that very beginning, that player on the ground, Daniel Navarro, you can see him kind of tying up to Bena Uzo, their center forward. He gets an arm a bit around his waist.
Yeah.
And pulls him down. So I mean, I've slept on it and slept on it and slept on it. And, I mean, he wraps his arm around his waist. I'm pretty sure that if that happened to a Red Wolf player, I would be steaming mad that a penalty didn't get called. But the ball's not near him. The ball isn't being played into his run.
And more so than that, this is where that interaction begins. Is outside the box.
Huh.
All right. That was so I texted you and was like, yeah, Navarre took a player out in the box, but then I went and rewatched and was like, yeah, except the fact that it started outside the box and continued into the box where he falls. I know my rules well enough to know.
Which he did all night long. Now, he completely manhandled Jonathan Ricketts when he wanted to go up and win a header. But the rest of the game, whenever there was the slightest brush of a Red Wolf player's jersey against Tabena Uzo, he was Harry Kane flopping and looking for calls.
And the other part you brought up was the ball going through. This is obviously when they're passing the ball. He's passing it to the wide open guy in front of the net. He was not looking for Uzo at this point. Now, you could argue that it's because Uzo had been taken out of the play, but I think even if Uzo had run forward, he's looking for the guy in front of the goal. He's not looking far. So it is what it is. I think in regular time, without VAR assistance or anything like that, I think if we were watching that, we would have expected a penalty if it was going against us. So I'm not that upset about it.
I think the thing you get frustrated with, and talking with other Red Wolf supporters, the point of, I think, frustration is the inconsistency on the calls. And I think what Alex was just talking about is that when it happens on our end, it seemed like the calls weren't happening. And so that's what's so frustrating. And of course it did hurt us. And it was also a lot of confusion because it was called so late. So I had to go home and wait and watch it to find out which of the fellow, which person falling over was the actual foul.
Yeah, and it's got to be that first play. That's the only thing that makes sense.
If it's not,
especially with the yellow card going to Navarro.
Yeah.
After it.
Yeah, that's got to be what that is. So that brings us to the 88th minute. And I know this is painful to continue to watch, but this is what that looked like.
Here's Shaq Adams moving forward. Adams with some space. Shaq Adams fires a shot. Shaq Adams levels the game late. Just moments after a penalty, FC Tucson gives Chattanooga a taste of their own medicine.
So first off, I get that the whole heart attack Red Bulls thing's a thing and taste of their own medicine. The difference is they had a grand total of legitimately maybe 5 shots the entire game. We score late in the game after shooting like 10 to 15. Like, yes, it is a late shot on us that scores, but it's not quite the same.
They had 3 shots.
I get that. That's what it says, but
3 to 14. Yeah.
They were also at 0 after one went directly at
Tim Trilk actually touched it, and it didn't go up on the board as a shot. We are 4th place in total shots in the league. We've played the fewest games of anyone. So if you do the average, we actually have the most shots per game of anyone in the league. What happened for Tucson is basically what everyone around the league is accusing us of, they're just getting lucky late in games. That's exactly what happened to Tucson. We had the play going at them, and partially from it, what maybe we thought was an unjust penalty, we had a bad letdown. And I think we're going to get into a little bit more of what we think is maybe something that needs to change with the Red Wolves to help these games go a little smoother. They exploited a left side that's kind of been our weak spot and came in and took the shot and scored the goal at the end of the game on a player who was cramping, was on a yellow card. And we didn't have any defensive substitutions on the bench to really try to shore that up at the end of the game.
And so what we ended up with was Jackson Dietrich playing outside back.
Yeah.
And the answer to Kay's question here is no, he's a midfielder. That's what he is. Like he's an
attacker.
He's an attacking midfielder at that. He's not your Wally type guy who's a defensive type midfielder. He's an attacking midfielder, and he was out of position, which I think personally fits right into my biggest frustration I've had so far this year is the unwillingness of Coach Obleda to put Ricky Ruiz back at left back. He proved himself in that position last year. We are not lacking for attacking players at all, especially with Rafa back. I don't understand the reluctance there. I feel like Navarro is a one-to-one replacement for who he replaced in the back line. You've got Leo Fala, who moved on to championship with Tulsa. I feel like we could have had the same four basically, because I really do feel like Leo and Navarro play a very similar style, and so I don't understand the reluctance there. I get that Ricky was a traditional attacker in the beginning of his career, but so was Jono, right? Jono was an attacker all through college and has transitioned to that defensive position. I don't see I just don't understand it.
Okay, I agree. Our left side is right now doing very well advancing the ball. We are suffering and defending the ball. And I do want to make the point that where Ricky is playing, Ricky is doing a fantastic job.
Yes.
So I'm very sympathetic to the coach, because why do you want to take a player who is doing what you're asking? And honestly, at many of our matches, he is the source of creativity. So it's a really tough ask. I think the bigger problem isn't so much that Ricky isn't playing on the left back, is that we don't have, with Jorge out, I don't think we really have that person, and it's not too late to sign someone.
I mean, honestly, I was going to say, the NISA Spring League just finished. Mm-hmm. There may be some players that are out there that have chosen not to play in the Independent Cup, or a team that could possibly have a left back that's willing to go up to the next kind of professional tier. Sorry, I took a random shot at NISA. Had to. I don't know.
We have Christian Zaragoza on the bench. We had a lot of attacking players on the bench, or we didn't have Christian Zaragoza on the bench. Actually, he wasn't listed in the lineup, but we have him as a defender that we signed. We had Jason Ramos, one of our central defenders, playing more of a defensive midfielder role in the game.
That's with Malathi out.
Yeah, some of it is, Carrera Garcia probably could have maybe have Ray Ortiz and Jimmy Villalobos, that three, so that or just you're not going to use Ray Ortiz this game. Maybe you're saving him for Wednesday. Leave him off the lineup. Have someone like Christian Zaragoza, so that if you get late in the game and you need fresh legs to see this out, you have that kind of steadier, because it's the natural position that he comes from, that you can put in and put at that left wing or something like that, the way to shift people around.
I
think to answer you, Adam, the one thing that maybe caused this game to not have Ricky in the back is, with all of those attacking players and the quick turnaround, they may have wanted to make sure they had enough fresh attacking players for us to go against Tormenta on Wednesday.
But anyway, one other scenario I've been thinking about, and I'm curious to see what it would look like, is to see Espana move back from that left wing actually to a left back. He's a big body. I don't know. I'm not sure how he'd play in that position. That could be a possibility, because we got others who can play his spot.
Mora could just play keeper and left back. He enjoys.
He likes it over there. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
that's good stuff.
This is why they don't let me give them ideas.
Yeah. So do you guys have anything else to say about the game on Saturday?
Well, again, I want to reiterate about it was, I think, the highest highs and the lowest lows. And at the very end of the match, and I want to make sure the players understand this, there was some booing happening in the stands. And I want to make sure the players understand that was not at you. They were at two things. They were at the refs and the punk player who was mouthing off at one of our other players. And so I want to make sure our players know that boo was not for the Red Wolves.
I do think they know that.
Mine were definitely aimed at the referee.
Yeah, because at the very end of the game, the ref chose not to call, yet another situation where a Red Wolves player is getting knocked down in the box, and he just ignored it completely. He didn't even wave it off like he thought it was like he thought he was simulating. He just ignored it.
Faked out the commentator doing the stupid pointing thing to try to say he got the ball, which made everyone think he's pointing to the penalty spot.
Which is what he should have been doing, because the guy didn't come anywhere near.
So here's my final thought. It seems, Conspiracy Alex is here. It seems that the directive has come from Tampa to all the USL officials to not award penalty kicks to the Chattanooga Red Wolves. I don't know why that is, but in a few of these plays, guys, what we see, we create a lot of great opportunities. We have a lot of shots on goal, but they hold on to the ball too long. They try to get it just perfect. They feel that guy step in with his leg and they don't take the shot. They get tripped up. They fall. They look for the penalty kick. That is not coming. The league is not going to give us penalty kicks. It's been decided from on high. I'm gonna say Jeff Bezos is responsible for that. Now, Elon Musk. No one likes Elon Musk. It's his fault.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that you've got somewhere behind you.
It's right.
Chart.
Yeah, right over here. There's the whole cork board showing all the follow the money. Anyway,
so there's a comment that's coming in. Once again, it's Kay Baker, and I want you guys to talk a little bit about this, because one of the things that gets lost sometimes when you start getting up to these compressed schedule and games is, how much do you focus on the current game and how much do you focus on the next one? Because she's got a couple comments here. Her first one was, win the game you're playing. She followed it up with a little bit more, win the game you're in, stop worrying about the next game. And at this point, she's just raising her voice at us. What do you guys think? Like how much is there to focus on the game in front of you versus not looking ahead, and how much of it is you have to look ahead?
I'm sorry, Kay. I'll get off your lawn.
I really don't see Coach putting too much concern on Wednesday right now, because every core of Ableda's being is to win what's in front of them. And so I think that's in his character. The only thing I can think of is maybe a little bit on team selection, but not so much on the next game, of just like, if you've got a player who is able to play, but maybe is a little rest would help him, he may be a little more conservative with that. But it's I think he is thinking about, what do we got to do to get over this line? And Wednesday, we're going to worry about Wednesday on Wednesday. That's how I take it.
I think based on the lineup that was put on the field, he was playing to win that game for sure.
Yeah.
And we had the talent to do it. And the only time where I'm talking about, maybe he's thinking about what's going to happen Wednesday, is when he's making that lineup to say, I'm not going to start this guy. I may try to only play him 30 minutes so that he's ready to go Wednesday, because we do have a quick turnaround. Or someone like Jorge Luna, he might be close to ready, but we're going to hold off on this game because we know there's a quick turnaround Wednesday and we can get him out there for 10, 15 minutes and see how he responds. And so I don't think it was necessarily like, we'll play for a draw by putting these backups out there. But I think you do have to keep that in mind. And he talked about, with last summer and fall, the way that those games were really quick, and we had the long layoff coming off, and he kind of ran the players ragged early in the season, and we didn't have anything to finish up. So I think that is in his mind, that he's trying to make sure he's managing the bodies, managing their minutes, making sure that he's not trying to overplay anyone, especially right now. We're a 1/10 of a point behind Omaha in the table if you go points per game.
Good
and
stuff.
So we're still in a really good position, and we've got 2 very winnable games coming up, and they're going to play to win both of them. I know. I'm hoping Wednesday they come out very, very angry.
So Jeff, let's real quick. I mean, we're it's supposed to be a quick recap and preview, and we're 25 minutes in. Let's think a little bit about that next game, the game tomorrow night. And if you could give me some insight into what you're expecting as we prepare for our second game with Tormenta.
Well, let's look at Tormenta here. Let me get their stuff opened up. Sorry, I was so focused on this game here. So let me open up the little fun box here of Tormenta. All right, so they've had the last 5 games. They have lost the last 3, but they've got some decent wins. Toronto, but the big win they had was just June 19th. They knocked out Greenville 3-1. I think that was their highlight. And then they've had 3 of their games in the last 5 against Toronto. That's bizarre. But then Toronto came back and beat them twice in a row. And then North Carolina, they couldn't get any on there. So what I'm guessing, and it looks like on Tormenta is losing a bit of their steam. They were getting a little momentum, but it looks like that their steam is kind of dropping off.
Scroll up, Jeff, and let's see the first 3 or 4 games before they play Chattanooga.
Okay, so I'll end it with Chattanooga. Yeah, they fell to Madison, they fell to Greenville, they fell to North Texas, they fell to Kickers.
Goodness.
Yeah, so they were on a low streak, and then I think were we their first win of the season?
Yes.
I think that we were.
They've got one up there where they had beaten Tucson. We were their second, but they were on a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, they did beat Tucson. So
they're on a 4-game losing streak. Here they've got 1 point in their last 3 games. Me no likey.
Yeah, that's a bit of frustration, but I'm also wondering if I hope this game is raw with our players and they take it out on Tormenta. The other issue was we are at CHI Memorial and we make a difference. This past match, I was one of the best for fan engagement. I felt like we were about ready to storm and attack, and we got everyone really into it. And I think more and more that is going to come to play. So that's where I think it keeps us into games. I wish it was enough to get us pushed over this past Saturday, but I think that's going to make a difference on Wednesday, though I expect a lower turnout because it's the middle of the week.
So it is middle of the week, but yes, $2 beer night. If you guys listened to Soccer Down Here, they had an interview with Sean McDaniel. He said that they've actually, because this is Tormenta, it's a team that we've played often that's, from Statesboro. There may be some fans traveling up and things like that. They've exceeded their ticket sales for the Tucson game. I think the Tucson game is like, oh, they're playing the Tucson, what? And maybe didn't have quite as much, but people are going to be in town because, they've got to be at work on Wednesday. Some of us actually work at our jobs, unlike Adam.
Nope.
And they're going to want to go have $2 beers and holler at guys in bluish pink uniforms.
So I think Kay just needs to join the podcast on a permanent basis because she keeps bringing up questions I don't think of.
Thanks for listening, Kay.
How much do you think this is going to impact it?
Well, I'll tell you what, if it's the Lady Red Wolves, it really would. But it's because we've had nothing but horrible weather whenever they played. But that was one of the things I do remember about the South Georgia Tormenta match was it was a day for the Chattanooga Navy. It was really sloppy.
It was really sloppy, which I think when you look at the way in which we designed our team, slowing us down, taking away the ability for someone like Markey to truly have skill-based plays because it's so wet and you're going to slip and all that stuff hurts us more than it maybe will hurt a team that is is not built in the same manner. If you look at the way Tormenta is built, they are very much a kick it over the top, get it to someone, tap it in type team. That works well in monsoon conditions, and I think that's going to affect us.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good thing. Of course, there again, it being July in Chattanooga, there could be a chance of a weather delay. A thunderstorm could pass over, and all the Tormenta people are going to go beg the referee to delay it, and then everyone's going to make fun of us for having a rain delay. But
Tormenta should know about it. They're in South Georgia. They're not lacking for thunderstorms.
Their name is
their
Tormenta.
name is the Spanish word for thunder.
Yeah, so it should be their fault if it comes. So
I think that will help, and I think Jeff is right. I think they're all going to come out very angry. If they're not angry enough, Jimmy Obleda is going to be in their locker room making them angry. You know, we've tried to hold back because these are all, you know, players that are 10-ish at least years younger than all of us, and we don't want to be picking on, you know, these younger kids who come and they're doing this awesome, you know, dream of theirs, and who are we to just, you know, sit here and drink our beer and make fun of them. But Coach Obleda is going to tell them this, you know, Saturday was not good enough. We should have won that game. You know, he's willing to take the smoke of us saying, you know, we don't know that the lineup was set up the best way for us to be able to close out the game. He wants the fans to not be satisfied, and he's definitely going to be talking to those players about not being satisfied. We should be at the top of the table, and this is a team that we should beat by 3 goals. And they should go out and take care of business and leave no doubt.
All right, so is that your prediction? What's your prediction there, Alex?
I'm going to say 2-0 again. I feel like it's going to be one of those 2-0 games that feels like it could have been 5-0.
Jeff?
I'm going to go back with 2-1, and it's more because of us is the one. I mean, we've got the 2 goals, but
okay.
And them getting the 1 goal, and it's probably going to be a thing where we open up that open up a space on our left side again.
He said 2-1, not 1-2, Adam. You should have known.
I should have known. I apologize.
Keep up.
I expect a total of 7 goals in this game and a 4-3 victory.
And a 4 what?
4-3 victory.
Wow.
I think unless we make a change at left back, more and more teams are going to start exploiting it. But at the same time, I think our offense can carry us to a point. And so I'm almost hopeful for a high scoring affair. One that goes back and forth. I wouldn't even mind us scoring first, them scoring 2, us scoring 2, them scoring to tie, and us scoring the 88th minute. Like, I would love that back and forth because my heart's getting a little better from the running, so I think I can afford it.
You do look slim.
You do.
Yeah.
That's compared to us, but you know.
So quick off the cuff, Biggleswade report. Go to greenarmy.wordpress.com, and that is a blog from the Green Army, our friends with Biggleswade Town. They had their first preseason game. They lost. You could tell that from what they're saying in the report there, you could tell that the other team had played a lot more preseason games than Biggleswade Town. They were still kind of in their first one. But one of the things that Waiter Bird, the writer, had noticed is that most folks are from the pandemic. They are either a hunk, a chunk, or drunk. And so, Adam, you're what? You're down 60 pounds. I think you're coming out of this as a hunk. We all know that Jeff doesn't drink, so I guess we know what that leaves the 2 of us. But
so I think I don't have this right. What is the website?
Waiters Green Army. I can't look for it right now because I'm using my phone to record.
Waiters Green Army. There it is. All right.
Bring that up.
Raiders Green Army at WordPress.com. So our friends with the Green Army, they're the supporter group for Biggleswade Town. They'll usually have a little report there that talks about where they went to visit, where they had their their pregame libations, and give you a little bit of the flavor of the match. And can't wait to get out there one day once we figure out how to monetize this stuff. And I'll guest right on the Waiters Green Army.
There you go. Hey, I do got to mention for the Lady Red Wolves, if you're finished with Biggleswade, so they tried to finish up their game last night. There was another delay. And so what it looks like is they just called the games as we left them, which when we were at SSA the first 3 times ago, we were down 1-0. And then we had stopped at CHI Memorial at 1-1. And so because they ran out of time, and so I think they just call those games as they were. So it ended up being a loss, an away loss, and a home draw. So we end the season at second place, just below Nashville, but we are in the playoffs, and we don't know who the team is going to be. The first playoff match for the Lady Red Wolves is this Saturday at CHI Memorial. We
Friday.
don't have
Friday.
this
Friday.
Friday at CHI Memorial, and so we'll let you know. Follow us on Twitter, and we'll let you know we will be playing, and tickets should be up soon.
So the conference has 6 teams. We finished behind Nashville Rhythm, so they basically get buys, and those bottom 4 are playing knockout rounds on Wednesday to determine who we're going to play on Friday. So
Okay.
I'm really not sure if it's set up like bracket style or if they'll just decide that whoever's the lower of the winners is going to play Nashville and we'll play the other. But yeah, chance for that. And then the winner, I'm assuming if things go chalk, we would be going up to Nashville for that conference championship.
Mm-hmm.
And that will determine who gets to continue on in the regional playoffs. So
Yeah.
Lady Red Wolves still alive, have a lot that they can do, and go out there and watch them Friday. Unlike Tabena Uzo or lots of other players in League One, you don't see them all flop to the ground every time. The Sino, is it Cezanne with the Lady Red Wolves? Was like
Sasane Sagolo.
There you go. She was playing with a separated shoulder. Like she got basically body slammed and got up and continued playing. And then after the game, did an interview with Jeff with gigantic ice packs on her shoulder.
Like
with a big smile on her face even.
Like
she wasn't even
boss.
like pretending that she was hurt when I stubbed my toe. So go check them out. It's a lot of fun and great atmosphere, and the girls work hard to earn that fan support.
Yep.
The first postseason match at CHI Memorial.
There you go. First of many.
Yes.
All right. Well, I believe we've covered everything we can. Looking forward to seeing whoever shows up tomorrow night. I hope it's going to be a good crowd. I'm sure if we are trying to figure out how many people are there, we can reach out to the hooligans and ask them to send something over top so we can do a count. But other than that, we'll see you on Wednesday, and then hopefully talk to you next time about a win.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Adam, are you sure you don't want to talk about Arsenal's